Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts podcast here on the ATP Network. I'm your host, Arnold Lewis. I help athletes get prepared mentally for a life of overseas basketball. Thank you guys for joining the show. We're going to get straight into it. I'm always going to dive straight into the show today. If you're new here, this is everything overseas basketball. Let me just get that intro. This is about as raw and as real as I can give it to everybody who's listening out there. Because a brief little backstory, I like to always give just a tad bit of information because my journey in the process may be different from a person who might be just now hearing from me. But I've been playing for 10 years. I'm currently right now in South America in the country called Chile. Living out my experience as a new content creator, podcaster, and a 10-year veteran playing overseas basketball. So if you're new to this show, this is what my basic concept of what I tried to give back, because I am the guy that wished this existed 10 years ago. I wish someone I can tune into to get information on what it's like to be a pro basketball player in this life. And today, this is going to be just, the show is called Arnold's Thoughts. So these are just going to be some of my thoughts. Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go. My goal is to personally develop your mindset to be prepared for a life of overseas basketball. And in order to do so, you have to prepare your life. I believe we get the concept of we don't have to change as a person in order for our game to change. And when the biggest change in your game is when you change yourself as a person. And I've experienced all this through my journey of being a pro player after all these years. So these are just the thoughts that have been running in my mind for the last 10 seasons just as a pro. I started playing basketball at 5. I never envisioned myself to be here 10 years later in this situation, in this country, how it's all written and said down in the end. You never really know what it's going to turn out to be. You don't never really see the path. You can only see the first steps in front of you, 1, 2. That's all that really matters at the end of the day, is those initial steps that you take in order to get better or in order to become more than what you are. And I am currently in that quest. And the reason I call it a quest is because if you were like me, when I grew up, I played a lot of games, a lot of Zelda, a lot of fantasy games. Just, they put you on quests. You have to go complete a mission. Life is just a bunch of little missions, a lot of little side missions that you're doing. We're just doing little side missions here. Oh, okay, I gotta go pay a bill today. Oh, I have to go, I don't know, go to the dentist. These are just side quests to get better at life. Basketball, all of this is just a journey of life that we're all trying to experience and understand. And coming from the perspective of a pro basketball player, after all these years, I realize now how much was missing. I realize how much now the misinformation that my group of people, I would say, when speaking, especially speaking on the aspect of black culture. Because the older I get, the more I understand and see the culture in which you grew up in. I wouldn't even say black culture. Whoever grew up in the culture where I come from. I grew up in the country. Horse, cows, all these sorts of things. Chickens, like real farms. Real swamp swimming, all that. I didn't grow up in a city or anything like that. I grew up in Haitian household. My people are from Haiti. And it just wasn't the information. That's why I grew up. So that's my culture. And to see just how misinformed we are about everything in life, almost everything in life, we're just so misinformed and we're not attentive to what we really need to be paying attention to. They got us out here so distracted. Everything has us so distracted that we can't really pay attention and focus on the things that will propel us forward. I speak about this a lot because I go through it every single day, trying to figure out how not to be distracted when there's so many things that are trying to distract you, take your attention, take your energy, take everything away from you, that except for giving you what you need to be doing, except pushing you in the right direction that, hey, you need to be doing this, doing this. It's always something, someone needs something ain't going right, to just pull your distraction and just keep you mentally drained, so you don't even have the energy to go and do the things that you want to do in life or really take it to the next level. I understand this because which I preach a lot on this channel, am always trying to reach the next level. There's always a next level, and I always want to understand, how do we get to that next level? What is the process that we must do to get to this next level? And what do we need to do internally to get there? Because everything that we are trying to do starts internally. It all comes from with the inside of us. Me taking a journey and becoming a speaker, becoming someone who decided to express my voice in a different way, or just in a propelling way to get the message that I believe that I have inside out to others. It's not an easy task. Somebody's got to be like, they could do it. It's so easy for them. Just like basketball, it's so easy for them. For those who have the mindset of everything must be of growth, everything must be getting better, everything, there is another level. For those type of mindset, you are constantly working and trying to prepare and try to separate from all the distractions possible to try to get to the highest peak of what your potential is. Because once you understand that you have unlimited potential, you have so much you can accomplish if you just could focus. How do we get to this level of focus that allows us to really tap into what we need to tap into, as not only just as players or co-workers or whatever it is, but how do we tap into the potential that we have in ourselves that allows us to get really the desires that we are really searching for? Because it's going to come down to just pure desire and will to do whatever it takes to get to whatever you're looking for. I desire to be great. I want to be a great basketball player. There are some things I must leave to the side. There are some things that I must just say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I have to cut back on this. I have to watch what I'm eating here. I have to manage my time. I have to take care of my body. There's so many little intangible things you must do in order to say you want to be great. Will you sacrifice all that you have in order to be great? Will you give up everything necessary for you to be great? For whatever time that is necessary that you are pursuing, whatever it is that you are choosing to search after in this life. And I want to be transparent. A lot of the time, when I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I'm talking these are the inner thoughts that I'm telling myself. What are you going to give up? What are you going to do to get to that next level? Are you being lazy in this? Are you getting content? Are you comfortable? These are the questions that I keep continuously pondering in my head over and over. What are you doing that are making you separate from the next man? The next man of who you once were. That man. What are you separating to being different from him? Look what he's done. He did all this. Are you going to be better than him today? Are you going to be better than that guy that broke that record and had this amazing season? That's your old man. Are you better than that man? Because he's looking at you like, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do to surpass the old you? What are you gonna do to elevate in all aspects of life? Like I said, I see it a lot with my family. For instance, just like I said, my culture, I see it a lot with my family. A lot of times, for instance, my cousin, he got a job as a manager at some solar, solar is going really big right now, solar panel. So he got a manager at being someone who's over setting up and doing the things with something with solar energy, solar panels, all that. We're from Florida, so a lot of that right now is booming. It's booming right now. It's doing pretty good. He gets hired, decides, you know what, I'm going to really take this career path. I'm going to really try to level up in this job because there's so much upside and potential. I'm going to try to do this and have a change in my life. It's time. He gets on. Now he's able to hire people. First thing he does is hire his brother. Then his brother's wife. Then our cousin. Then his cousin's wife. Then my other cousin, my little brother, and my other cousin. So it just shows the environment in which you are, which you will be more drawn to. And I just see the current cycle of, we will be willing to go and work so many hours for a job for other people on something they're building and creating, but we won't come together and put each other on how do we build a legacy for our family. You're adding to someone else's legacy, and we should change the mindset of what legacy are we creating for ourselves, for this generation, for our people. Like, what is the legacy that we're doing that will lead us to create something amazing? Like, why do we want to stay? Is it just me that I am just really trying to understand what is the legacy that you can leave on this earth, on this planet, that can change lives? There's only one. Like, they always talk about the one. Are you the one that has these thoughts, that has these ambitions, that has this drive to be the one? To not only get the information, to not only apply the information, but to go out and execute on the information. The first step is getting the information. And yes, that is the hardest. It's not hard. We're not going to speak on that. We're going to really take control of the words that we use. And once we use the words, they will become within us. So it's not hard. We're going to say it's easy. It's easy for us because it comes natural to us, this sensation, this feeling to know that we are the one that has to do something to change everything. It keeps us up at night. We don't feel like we're doing enough. We don't feel like there's always more I can be doing. I just, any little break, I'm like, man, should I be resting right now? Or should I be out here grinding? What can I do? My mind be, okay, I get up in the morning, I gotta pray, I gotta meditate, I gotta visualize, and then I gotta make content. before I go out. Then after that, get something to eat. Then go to the gym and train for an hour. Come back, post content. When I'm done with that, go to practice, go to weights, and still be thinking, come back home, edit videos, edit podcasts, work on more content, come up with new ideas. This is just my everyday, and I'll still be like, man, there's still more I need to be doing. There's something. Where are my blind spots that I'm not seeing that can take me to the next level? Because I don't want to confuse just activity without execution. You want to be working on the right things, the real things that move the needle. Okay, I know I need to. I was going over this with my best friend, Big Deuce, yesterday, and he was creating a list of things that he can do, because we call this money made. This is money made. This is the month that his mother had died, so he's dedicating this month to really focusing and locking in on just elevating to a new level. So we call this money made. And when I rolled up on him, he was creating a list of things that he wanted to do to improve upon that he know he's been lacking. And it brought me back to, I wrote my first book. It brought me back to my book, and I said, bro, this is exactly how I started out when I kind of like wanted to get on my journey. Like, I felt like it was time for a change in my life, and this is when I got on that journey of like, okay, starting this network, writing my first book. And it brought me back to my first book, and it brought me back to seeing him create his list. And my first book was basically about creating a list on what kept me in line and kept me in tune to be able to stay focused, build up the determination, build up the desire, it's like you gotta have the muscles of resilience. Like, you have to build that resilience muscle with it. It's like you have to train it. I trained mine by creating this to-do list, and I created a book. It was so powerful to me that I had to write it. Like I said, I have to put this out there, at least available, for someone to be able to get this book. Someone be able to take what was in me and help me out so much that I want to put it into something that hopefully this can help someone else out. I got it on Amazon. Just, if it sells, at least I know I did my job of putting the information out there so someone can get it if someone ever needed it, the right person will find it at the right time. But I felt that was a part of my job. That was a part of my purpose. Like, I had to get that out. It was screaming inside me. I had to get that out. And it all started from this list. And I created other lists, but this was just like my list of things. I said, if I could do these every day, I know that I'm getting towards, like, I'm trying to get to a better version of myself. I know I'm getting to the better version of myself if I just can continue to do these things every day. If I could focus on what are the most important things that I need to do every single day that for sure will help me elevate to the next level in life. And what I didn't realize along the way, but I soon to realize later, is after reading other books, was I was harping so much on gotta be disciplined. You gotta be so I don't know. Discipline is the main word, but you gotta be so disciplined to be able to execute everything and do everything perfect. It's not like that. You just gotta be disciplined enough to create the habit. It's all about the habits. I write down, one of my habits is writing every morning. And one of the things I write down is I am so happy and grateful for the habits, the knowledge and the habits to be a millionaire. I want the habits of a millionaire. I want the knowledge and the habits of a millionaire. Because once you have the habit of a millionaire, you're only going to do things that makes you millions and more. Because you have $1 million habits. You have a millionaire habit. And that's what I say. I'm so happy and grateful to have the knowledge and the habits to be a millionaire. And that's what this list will help me with, is to create the habits. That's what we should be wanting. That's what the whole goal is creating the habits that get you to the desires the way you want to be. And I remember going back, I saved this list as like, this is going to be like my starter. And I never want to get rid of this list, because now I look at it, I'm like, man, all of the things that I do now, I do these unconsciously. Like, I don't even think twice of any of these. Start off, pray, read my Bible, say my daily affirmation, meditate, visualize. Why can I say that word? Visualize 100 made shots, basketball shots. Now I do 225. It used to start off with just, how do I make 100 shots in my head every single day in the morning? How do I make these 100 shots? That's part of my routine in the morning. Make 100 shots. So it's equivalent of me going to the gym and shooting 100 shots and making 100. So I say I want to really take my game to the next level. Make 100 shots before you even start your day. Then you go and train. So everything on top of that, you're already building on top of something. So now I'm up to 225 shots a day. And what people don't understand is, what you're doing is, how many people that you know are putting up 225 shots a day? Made. Seeing the ball go through the basket 225 times in your mind every day. I told you, it's like, this is the Matrix. Your mind makes it real. There have been studies, science studies, and shows that if you practice and understand the visualization techniques and learn how to visualize, there is no difference from you going in the gym and putting up a shot when you visualize it and focusing and making 100 shots in your brain. Your brain don't know the difference. So the more we use our brain to tap into the powers that we have, I'm getting up 100 shots first. Then I'm up to 225 shots every morning that I can. I may miss a morning. I'm not saying, oh, I do it every single day straight. No, I'm not. That's a lot. I'm not even going to sit here and say that. But 5-6 days out of the week, I'm putting up 225 shots. In my head, off the glass, 15, I'm telling you, 15 from the baseline, 15 from the 3, 50, 7 spots. The mid post, right off the glass, 3, 15, 15. Then you got the top of the corner. You got the corner right here on the box, 15, 3. Dead center, 15, 15. 7 spots, 15 apiece. And then come and shoot 15 to 20 free throws. That's 220, 225 shots made before you even start your day. You're not going to see the improvement in your game, and like you say, oh, a year passed by and I don't really see no. But imagine you start doing that now. And I'm 10 years in, and I've been doing this now for about 1 year. Imagine when you're doing this for 5 years, 6 years straight. How long are you planning on playing the game of basketball if you're not even understanding, like, I could be in this game for a long time, and anything I can do to get the edge and stay locked in and stay getting my game to the next level, why wouldn't I use that to improve? That is one of the biggest, if I have anything that I love to talk about and take it to the next level, is this concept of shooting the basketball in your brain and shooting that. That right there to me is, once I understood that, I immediately incorporated it into my daily routine. Not as a habit. I created a habit to put these extra shots up. And to the people who don't really understand the power of the mind and understand the type of work that you could tap into by using the power of the mind, then this might sound foreign to you. This might not sound like it's very informational, or that don't work. You don't understand the compound effect. You don't understand the processes of the mind, how the mind is so strong and it controls everything. So if you can control the mind and the thoughts that you have in your mind. I heard an example. They say your mind is the printer and your life is the paper. So your mind is basically printing out the life that you have is controlled by the mindset that you have. So we have to change the concepts in our mind to the things that we want to see so it can project and print out exactly the life that we are searching for and looking for. Because that's what I want to do. I want to be a legendary basketball player. I'm already one here in Chile, I can tell you that. But I want to extend it further. What more can I do? Where else can I do it? If I'm able to do that here and make a stamp in my name for myself in one country, I can do this in another. I want to win 20 championships. That's legendary. I want it to be so known that I was such a great basketball player. It's all dedicated to what I'm willing to push towards, focus on, and make a part of my daily habits, to say that I left nothing up to chance to get to where I said I wanted to be. So if I don't get to where I wanted to be, I'm not going to say it's not because of my lack of effort in all ways. Continuously searching, continuously looking for new areas and new aspects on how I can improve, how I can advance to another level in all aspects of life. As a basketball player, as a man, as a husband, as a father, how do I elevate? How do I get to the next level? How do I create the thoughts that lead to this action and focusing on it? Focusing on the thoughts and the mindset to give you the life. I wrote in my book on my phone, I talk about this all the time. I wrote inside of my phone 3 years ago. This is on my list. Go back to it. After I visualize, I would read 10 things I'm grateful for. And I remember this one was on my list. It was read through my notes. Now, when I'm reading something, that's also on my list. It was a book or a podcast for 1 hour. So after visualization, it was read off 10 things you're grateful for, a book for 1 hour or podcast. So a book or a podcast for 1 hour a day, French lessons, 5 social media posts, because I was posting on Twitter a lot. No complaining or excuses. Read through my notes and stretch. If I did these things every single day, I know I'm elevating as a person, as a man, as I'm taking my life serious, and I'm taking my life not for granted by becoming and doing all the things that was necessary for me to elevate myself. I'm getting in touch with my spiritual. I'm getting my mind. I'm constantly feeding my mind good things, motivational things, courses. That's why I had I have to read at least a book or listen to some type of podcast or something for an hour to increase the information in my brain and continuously work my brain to understand and learn new things. And then taking care of my body, which was stretching, because I already have the habit to go to the weight room every single day and play or something every day. Like the weight room, I'm in there almost 5-6 times up the week. Other than that, stretching the body, changing my diet. I'm learning every day how to increase in all ways. I'm not perfect. I'm not there yet. I'm not all the way to where I believe that everything that I do is perfect and I have the right formula for everything. However, I have been able to play this game of basketball for 10 years. I have been able to start a successful network that is growing, the ATP network, where I host this show, the Arnold's Thoughts podcast, on here. And I've been at this for 2 years. I have a business. Not those business people say, oh, I got a business. I have a legal licensed business with a number, with the EIN, that, all these things that I created everything before it is into existence. I am painting the picture and the thoughts in my mind to project. So as I grow and as I see things changing, I start to really you start to no longer doubt. And that's what is getting rid of all of that doubt. Because I just looked today, for example, one of my teammates sent me a piece of information on LatinBasket.com saying that I have won the Player of the Week. They gave me Player of the Week, and I was grateful, truly grateful, because anytime you get honored for something that you do is showing your hard work is paying off. Everybody said, "Oh, this and that," but like you worked for that and you earned that honor. You wasn't average. You outperformed everyone for this. And one of the things I write down every single day is that I am an MVP and a champion. So when I do see the MVPs for the game, for the week, and things like that, it's because I'm making it real in my head every day. That's one of the things I write down every single day. I am an MVP and I am a champion. So when I start to see the MVPs rack up, it's because I know I've been putting that in my mind and putting that in my brain and projecting that. Listen, man, thank you guys for tuning in, for rocking with me. These are just the thoughts. Sometimes I just got to come on here and break down the thoughts that's going on in my head to let you guys just get to know me a little bit better. If you guys want any questions, if you want to know anything about the life of overseas basketball, I have a book. Check out my book. It'll get you started on everything you need to know and what to do to become a professional overseas basketball. Don't start when you think you start in your career. You want to start before you start your career. You want to have the information already in you, so when you get into this situation, you already know what to do. You don't want to find out when it's too late. Say, "Oh, what did it say then?" Just based on my experience. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. We are on the ATP network now. I'm so glad for the growth and the evolution. Whoever is with me tuning in all the time, I appreciate you. I love you. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.